I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And welcome to the Tesla Life Express, where today we're going to talk a little bit about billions and billions that Tesla has collected since 2009. With that, roll the intro, Casey.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
And as we indicated before the start of the intro, what's that noise? You guys hearing the noise?
Jets in Patrick's microphone.
Oh, no.
That's there. Better. Done. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Patrick's going to be offline just for a moment as he fixes his mic. Very good. We wanted to talk a little bit about the story that came out recently about Tesla collecting, in one case, in 2023, $1.6 billion in what it basically amounts to carbon credits is what this is for. So we had of course, we've known this for some time. Back in 2009, the carbon credit system was put in place and Tesla started to participate in it. And since that point, they've collected $9 billion over that period of time from their competitors, from other automakers that were unable or unwilling to create emission-free vehicles. And of course, what was put in place way back then was the ability to create basically a carbon credit marketplace, which would allow groups that had extra carbon credits because they sold nothing but electric vehicles. They were able to bank them and then sell them in groups to different automakers in partial amounts or complete amounts, depending on what deals could be made between the two automakers. So over time, Tesla, of course, being one of the only companies that was making strictly electric vehicles back in 2009, they were able to bank a lot of carbon credits. Now, as time went along and some of these automakers started to get into the time crunch that they were supposed to have been going down the zero tailpipe road, but were unable to for whatever reason, they would knock on Tesla's door and say, well, how many credits you got? We need X amount in order to get by this year and not pay a big penalty to the government. So what do you want to sell your credits for? And this happened over and over again with multiple different automobile manufacturers. And that just continued to happen again since 2009. And over that period of time, $9 billion was collected by Tesla up until the end of last year. So this is something that's not going to last forever. But I would say that this is something that Tesla was playing by the rules from day one, because, of course, again, they were only making non-emission vehicles from day one, whereas the others, unable to or unwilling to, and wanted to play the waiting game. And in that case, they ended up paying Tesla quite a bit of money over that time.
Yeah, and we had some automakers that took partial credits from Tesla, some that realized they were not going to do very well at all, and they did a multi-year agreement. I think the longest stretch we had was either 1 quarter or 1 year where there were no credits. But Tesla's always said these are bonus money. This is a tip. We don't need it. Don't count on it. Blah blah blah. $9 billion is a pretty nice tip.
That's funny. Yeah, so I mean, the Tesla Q folks at the beginning have been saying, "Oh, Tesla's never going to survive," and these regulatory credits are going to disappear as soon as the other automakers start making their own EVs, and then Tesla won't survive. And at this point, the other automakers have been doing this for how long? And now they just announced they're going to slow down their plans to go all electric. So At this point,
It's been 15 years, Patrick. 15 years.
How long do you need, really? And this is what allows Tesla to accelerate their plans. Is this extra money means they can roll out superchargers, they can ramp up new factories, they can invest more in R&D and still have a profitable product. So, like you said, they're not dependent on it, but it doesn't hurt, and it certainly means they can go faster. Which makes it more difficult for the others to catch up.
Yeah.
It's not contributing to
a continuing circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
What kind of future are they inhibiting us?
That's right. Yes, Tesla, they're accelerating our future free from fossil fuels. Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, that's interesting. There was always this at the beginning this narrative that the other automakers were going to start creating EVs and this would quickly disappear. Well, last year Tesla collected like 1.7 billion from this fund again, 15 years later. So obviously we've got a lot of different manufacturers that just still are not playing the game properly. Stellantis, we're looking at you. But it's something that they all have to play and have had to play for 15 years. I do not understand why they could not see that the writing was on the wall. They're darn lucky that Tesla was actually credits to sell them. Because, of course, the ultimate problem for these other automakers is if there were no credits to buy, they were going to have to pay inflated fines that were above and beyond the price of the credits. Yeah. So it's something that they would lose out even higher amounts of money because there were no credits available. But Tesla saved many people's bacon over those 15 years.
Like, imagine if Tesla had decided they also wanted a Volt-like product in their portfolio, and they needed those credits for themselves. They would have been up a creek. And what's most like dumbfounding about all this is they knew this was coming. The government consulted with them before setting the targets. California consulted with them before setting the targets, and then they were set. And now they're acting like, oh my goodness, this is such a surprise. You could say another CEO signed for it. But when you came in, you can very easily see, oh, we agreed to these things. Oh, okay, let me get ready for them.
Yeah, it's you've got in the US, you guys have got a bit of a system that flip-flops possibly every 4 years, depending on what federal government is in charge. But I do have to mention that the California rules, the CARB credits that these are attached to, California hasn't changed their stance in all that time. Right. They had always indicated that they were about the anti-smog and anti-pollution and less particulates in the air. They were always pushing this narrative. It never went away. And of course, California is what the fourth or fifth largest car market in the world. So obviously automakers stand up at attention when California says something because it means so much to their bottom line. So I'm really perplexed as to why even with federal administrations going in and out every 4 years, that they were not at least looking at California's steady push towards these goals and decided we're not going to play ball. We'll just buy credits from whoever for 15 years. Like, how do you run a business like that? Like these companies have been around for, if not
over 100 years in some cases,
dozens of years, 100 years. So why? How can they have that kind of longevity with this type of poor planning? It's really amazing.
And with Honda, for instance, they actually have a California car that they sell, and you actually get a different California warranty on the hybrids than in the rest of the country. With them being a smaller automaker, they can do that. You can't do that with the likes of Ford and Chevy cleanly with the way they are currently structured and operated.
Right, but they could at least try that. I mean, so we've seen compliance cars in the past that they've released only in CARB states. And so if you are a legacy automaker today, you should still be doing those compliance cars at least, instead of just like, oh no, we're going to delay it another year. Because yes, you're going to lose money on it, but that's what you have to do in the beginning so that you can figure out why it is you're not able to make money on that, reduce your costs, increase your supply, work out all the kinks, get your software working, and then you've had 15 years to do that, right? So even if it only got a little better each year, by now it would be a pretty great vehicle. And then maybe you could actually sell it profitably, and you could start branching out into other places where you don't get these incentives. But instead, they're just putting their head in the sand.
They've already got the car. You have a California Prius, a California Accord, not hybrids, the gas one, and so all you got to do is figure out how to get your materials to make that vehicle in volume, and you got it.
Another great point there, Patrick, is that the CARB states, as you mentioned, have been growing. There's been more states that have been added to CARB over the last 15 years. More and more states are adding their name to the list because pollution is now a problem in their state, and they want to follow those same rules as well. So again, it's not just California. There's multiple states and even provinces here in Canada that are following CARB rules in order to get to a cleaner state of exhaust that are coming from the vehicle fleet as a whole.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that is really strange. In the comments, let us know, why do you think some of these companies have really buried their head in the sand, as Patrick has mentioned, and done nothing about this for 15 years? It really, as mentioned, I don't understand how they can stay in business and not, at least have a future plan to work towards, to, start slow, to work out the kinks, as Patrick and Casey has mentioned, and then ultimately get to a point where you've got a good offering that you can sell. Why on earth would they stop? Put them in the comments. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. Press the bell. We're releasing more of these Express issues, episodes throughout the week, and you'll be notified every time we put one live. With that, Casey, any shout-outs for us?
Yeah, catch us Sundays at 1:10 Eastern over at youtube.com at Casey Green. That's KACEYGREEN. And we do these Sunday-style chats on the same style, same ecosystem, but we expand out a little more than just kind of Tesla. So hope to see you there.
1:10 on Sunday, 1:10 Eastern. We'll see you there. Patrick, any shout-outs?
I'm sorry about the audio problems when we started. I'm glad that's worked out. I blog occasionally at carswithcores.net, and you can check me out at oeva.org. I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. Thanks.
Fantastic. We will catch you next time on the Tesla Life, and together we will find out what is happening. Good night, everyone.
Good night.